Alright, so it's about time I made a video talking about sleep paralysis and sort of how it works, what you need to be worried about, and what you don't need to be worried about, okay? Because sleep paralysis is something that it affects all of us, but in different ways. So, in a nutshell, sleep paralysis is what happens when you go down to sleep, when you lay down to sleep, your mind, sort of a part of your mind, needs to paralyze your body so that you don't act out all of the dreams, that you're having. If you have a dream about running and you acted that dream out, you could sort of kick your bed, it could be dangerous, you could hurt yourself, you could hurt other people. And so your brain has this sort of natural way of sending a signal to the whole of your body where it just paralyzes it so you can't move. It's very normal, it's very natural, but a lot of people are obviously sort of scared or worried about this because if you wake up in the middle of that process between being awake here and being asleep here, there's sort of a time lapse of about 10 to 30, 40 minutes, I'd say, where you're going into sleep paralysis. If you wake up in the middle of that process, it's scary, right? Because you're awake and conscious, but you can't move. So, yeah, it can happen to some people, but it's nothing to be worried about. It happens to all of us normally. Sleep paralysis will happen to all of us unless you have a sleep disorder. The only difference is that lucid dreamers, like you and me, we try and sort of get in the middle of that process and we sort of try and keep our minds awake while we go into sleep paralysis and while we fall asleep. And that's when it can get dodgy and scary because if you wake up in the middle of it, you're sort of half lucid, but you're not quite all the way there. You can feel like you can't move. You can feel like there's sort of a blanket pressing down on your chest like this, or even like a sort of metal cloth that sort of presses down, especially on your neck and throat area. It can feel a bit scary, right? It can feel a bit weird. The truth is, it's nothing really to worry about. It happens to everyone. The only difference is lucid dreamers are aware of it because we're trying to be aware of it. We're trying to keep our minds awake while our bodies enter a dream and while we fall asleep. So there are a few things you can do, okay? You can either not lucid dream at all, which, I wouldn't recommend it because lucid dream is cool, or you can just tell yourself that it's going to happen and just be ready for it, be ready to deal with it. Or if it really bothers you, and if you enter sleep paralysis and you don't want to experience it, you can actually just wake yourself up. And the easiest way to do that is just to close your eyes and then focus on moving a tiny part of you, like your finger or your toe. And then after a while, move that towards moving your whole hand or your whole foot, your whole leg, your whole arm, and eventually you'll be awake. So really, there's nothing to worry about with sleep paralysis. It's just one of those things that happens to everyone. If it didn't happen, you'd be kicking the bed, you'd be pushing your partner in bed or whatever it is, throwing your pillows across the room, and you'll be hurting yourself or others. So it's a natural natural sort of rhythm in your body that needs to be there. But obviously, as lucid dreamers, we sometimes experience it. So really, there's nothing to worry about. Keep practicing, keep being, bold lucid dreamers. Don't worry about sleep paralysis so much. And if you are, just remember you can always turn it into a lucid dream by practicing the wild technique, right? The wake-induced lucid dream, which, there's other videos I have on that technique. Just type in wild tutorial and, my video should be near the top, hopefully. So yeah, hope that's been helpful, guys. I'll see you next time.